All right, in this video, we're going to talk about different retirement plans and investment options. These are four that we will discuss. Other options within here, you could just directly invest into mutual funds, bonds, stocks, things like that. But we're going to specifically focus on retirement plans as opposed to general investments. So first off, the most common one is a 401k. So a 401k is if you work for a private employer. It is tax deferred. So meaning when you put into your 401k, you are putting it in pre-taxed. So you get your paycheck, say, oh, okay, I want to put in $200. That $200 never had tax taken out of it. The tax is taken out when you withdraw it. The whole idea is when you're earning money, you'll probably be in a higher tax bracket than when you're retired because you won't have any income coming in. You cannot withdraw until 59 and a half, otherwise you have to pay a penalty, and sometimes employers will match that. So say a company doesn't have a pension plan, which pensions are becoming rarer and rarer these days, but the employer might say, well, we will match 5% of your contributions into your 401k up to some threshold. So that's a way that employers can entice employees to work for them. So if you work in the public sector, so educators, government employees, they have either a 403b or a 457b. Pretty much same idea as a 401k. One thing with the 403b or 457b is there are max contributions. At most, you can put in 19,500 within a calendar year, and if you're over 50, they allow you to make up catch-up contributions. So you can put a little extra per year in there. So if you're behind where you want to be on your retirement. Another one is an IRA. So with an IRA, it does not go in pre-taxed. The money that you put into it, you have already had tax taken out of in your paycheck. And then you invest it into the IRA, and you also have to pay tax on any gains in the investment. So any money that the investment makes, you have to pay tax on. Penalty again, if you withdraw before 59 and a half, you can decide what makes up your IRA. So it's a mixture of these three things: stocks, bonds, mutual funds, but you can decide what proportion and in what funds you want it to go into. So if you have an IRA, your neighbor has an IRA, they're not going to perform exactly the same because the makeup of them is going to probably be different. You can do $6,000 a year in an IRA, $7,000 a year if you're over 50 to get a little bit extra, and it's a good replacement if your employer does not have a 401k. And then the last one is a Roth IRA. This is also contributions after taxes, but the nice thing about the IRA is your investment gains are not taxed. So if you put in, say, $100,000, and over the lifetime of it you got, say, a 10% return, that 10% that you gained is not taxed. Now it has to be at least 5 years since your initial investments. So if you start investing when you're young, then you'd be in good shape. Now you're only allowed to use a Roth IRA if you're single and your income is 137 or less, or if you're married and it's 203 or less. And your adjusted gross income is after, like, you have deductions on your taxes and things like that. And just like the others, you have a max contribution of $6,000 per year. The number one thing that I could suggest with investment is start early. As soon as you get a job, you can even do it now if you have a job, start investing something. It will pay off in the long run because if you're earning a certain percentage on something, then that's exponential. Now, markets will fluctuate. Your value of your 401k, your 403b, your IRA will go up and down. Like right now, things tend to be down because of the pandemic, but in the long run, things tend to grow. So start early. It will pay off huge to start early. So that means the very first job you get out of college, anything extra, you should be putting something in, even if it's only $25 a paycheck. Start investing something, do it right away. So if you graduate college, get a job, say you're 22, start investing right then. Because if you think about it, say you start at 22, if you retire, say, we'll say 62, say you retire at 62, that's 40 years that that money has a chance to grow. If you wait till later, that money that you're putting in does not have as long a chunk of time to grow. And once your investment account has grown some, then that additional earnings is then growing. So it compounds on itself. So start early. That is the number one thing that I would suggest.